Hi everyone, it's me. I am back with another video. Today I am going to do a book review. Now that is because I couldn't think of what to do for this week, and I had a look at my list of options of like different things I could do, and I just felt like doing a review because I just finished a book and I just need to talk about it. So that's what I'm going to do. The book that I'm going to talk about and have just finished is this one, A Voice in the Wind by Francine Rivers. This is book 1 in the Mark of the Lion trilogy. Now, if you don't know, I was originally going to buddy read this in September / this month in October with a YouTuber called Teresa from Creatively Faithful. However, she's been having a few health issues and we've had to stop it completely. We did put pause temporarily, but then just as we were starting again, something else happened with her health. So we decided to just cancel it and do another buddy read at some other point with a different book. So because of that, after I finished my previous book, I decided to continue with A Voice in the Wind. Briefly, just going to quickly touch on the prompts that this book was to fulfill. It was for the biblical story in the Katie's Journey Through the Bible Readathon prompt. So that completed that one, and then this also completes Chantel's prompt for On a Hike. And that is because at the start of this, a load of Jewish people get captured after the fall of Jerusalem. So once that happens, they then go on a journey to wherever they are meant to go, like Rome, for example. With that out of the way, let's get into the more, for me anyway, exciting bit, because I just finished this last night. And I don't know what it is with Francine Rivers. I don't know how she does it. The faith that she puts in her books. I've only read 2, and I was sold after starting the first book that I read, and that was And the Shofar Blue. Completely different to what this is. But yeah, reading that book and this one has made me realise how much I would love to do annotations, or just, have the label thing sticking out, like, because there's so many different things that really stuck out to me, especially in particular the faith bits, the prayers, just the characters. I really relate to Hadassah, which is who this character is supposed to represent. She's the main one, basically. There's a lot of different main characters, kind of like supporting main characters, because it switches points of view from like the young girl / woman that Hadassah is the slave of, as well as that girl's brother and parents and 1 or 2 other people, I think, or just 1. I can't remember. Anyway, it's just such a magnificent book, and I'm just shocked. Like, I wasn't expecting the ending. I'm going to try and do this without spoilers, but I apologise if I do spoil something by accident. For any of you who haven't read it but want to. I have no words. I'm so excited to start on the next book. I won't be starting it straight away. I've got other books for the 3 readathons that I'm joining in with, so I'll probably be getting to that one at least in November, maybe further on. And yeah, this is just, I would have to say that our trigger warnings, I would say, I am talking from a point of view of someone who hasn't experienced any of these possible triggers, so just be aware that's the point of view I'm coming at, because there's definitely... So this does tackle a few serious topics. In particular, there's a touches of physical abuse, of, I would say, possibly psychological abuse, I'm not sure, but one of the characters is kind of grooming and manipulating the young girl who Hadassah is serving, as well. There's also triggers for abortion as well, and something else. I mean, there's a few other bits as well, because it's quite a heavy topic, because it's, you know, it's set in Roman times, so there's obviously, and there's gladiators in this, so, you know, if you're, you know, there's not really any graphic descriptions, but because obviously we all have different, certainly people who have those sorts of triggers, it might not need to be much of a description for them to still feel triggered by those topics. So I would just use, you know, your own discernment about that. It's, oh, and rape. Well, attempted. I don't know how to describe it. One of the characters basically tries with one of the other characters. It's unsuccessful, they stop, and there's nothing graphic. But again, if that is something that you've experienced, it might still be too much for you. So just be aware of that. I would say they're probably easily skipped, but they're also not particularly graphic or descriptive. They don't go on for very long either. So you may find you might be able to read it, or you may find that you're okay with just skipping those particular bits. They're more kind of in like halfway and latterly for the latter part of the book for those particular ones. But you might find there's other triggers, with it being, you know, wars and Rome, gladiators and stuff. You might still find stuff affects you quite badly if you're quite sensitive. But again, there's no massive description, so you might find you're okay with it. I don't know. I was, but I wouldn't say I'm. Again, I've not experienced any of these triggers that are talked about in this book. I'm not particularly squeamish or sensitive, but again, it's not graphic. Like, there's no mentions of loads of blood or anything like that sort of thing. It's not graphic like you would find in maybe in a more adult mainstream book, perhaps. Again, I don't know. I've not read those sorts of books, so I don't know. But yeah, just, yeah. It's an amazing book though. I love it. It is definitely shows just how similar we are these days to what Rome and Greece were like in these days when this is set. It's, yeah, you know, there are definitely differences. You know, we have toilets, you know, we don't need to throw our stuff out the window, but like, in terms of people's attitudes and tolerances and the ways people live, is very reminiscent of the modern day. So yeah, that was quite eye-opening. I've always thought it would be, from what I've heard, not of the book specifically, but just history. I have thought it would be, and yeah, certainly in terms of this book, it definitely seems like it. Again, it is fictional, but yeah, you know, a lot of, especially historical fiction, is based on history. That's why it's called historical, and the same with biblical fiction, based on the Bible, which again is also historical, certainly for us Christians. Obviously for people who don't believe, that won't necessarily be the case, but yeah. I love this book. I love the characters. I was crying. I was crying at the end of this. I've cried loads of times during this, just because of the faith and everything. I mean, it has everything. So yeah, it definitely helps if you feel inadequate in your faith in terms of talking to people about it and showing your faith in how you act and what you do. This is a great book for that, with the main character Hadassah. This is the stuff that she deals with, as well as love as well, in terms of falling in love with someone who isn't a believer, or at least in this book, he isn't a believer. I don't know if he turns up in any of the other books, because I know they are a series and interconnected as well. So he might turn up, and I don't know what his faith journey will be like, if there is one. But yes, I really recommend this book, especially if you can handle the triggers. But so to see how you are, you might find that you'll be okay. You might find you're not. I don't know. So, trying to think of anything else I would like to say. Well, it's difficult because I can't do spoilers. I mean, I could, but I don't want to. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, there's so much in this book, because it's like nearly 500 pages. So even if I was annotating and stuff, I don't know. I'm never good with articulating how I feel in terms of anything like books or films or anything like that. But yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for watching. Yeah. Oh, before I go though, in this book they have an excerpt of the next book, An Echo in the Darkness. I think it's a chapter or part of a chapter, I'm not sure. But it gives me hope for one of the characters. Yeah. Not the girl, but I don't want to tell you who, because it's a huge spoiler. Although I'm not surprised, certainly at the end of the book, I'm kind of not that surprised, but I also wasn't expecting it, because I was holding out hope that someone would intervene, you know? Oh, yeah. Loved it. Love it. I definitely recommend it. It is a chonker, so good luck. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you just finished the book. Let me know what it is. I'd love to know what you're reading and what you're reading next, or have just started, if you know what that is yet. My next book, I think, just looking at my books, they're just like behind you, and I think I'm gonna, my next read is the third book in the Anne of Green Gables series, which is Anne of the Island. So yes, that'll be a nice change. I'm expecting that to be a bit slower paced. This was not, well, it had slower moments, but to be perfectly honest, I was still gripped. But again, that's all, I think, dependent on your tastes and what you like in genres and speeds as well. So yeah. Yes, that's what I'm reading next anyway, Anne of the Island. Let me know what you're reading, what you're hoping to be reading, what you just finished, everything I just said. I'm currently filming this on Friday, and I'm hoping to get this up this evening or tomorrow, like I said with my last video. So I pray God blesses you for this weekend and the week to come. I hope you have a lovely weekend as well. I hope you like my penguin who has made an appearance. I don't know why you're seeing him this time. I think it's the way I put the camera. It doesn't matter. At least it's not just blank wall. At least you get to see a little bit of my bed and my snuggies. Haven't worn them yet. Not that I haven't needed to be fair. But the non-Christmas one, which is the one you're seeing, is very thick. So I've not felt the need to wear it yet. So yeah, glad I didn't need to tell you that, but there you go. Something a bit different from books. I hope you have a good weekend, and I will see you in my next video.